Hi, I'm Carrie, and thanks for joining me on my author interview today with Tony here on mybookaddiction.com. Just doing a little shameless self promoting there. I'm such a page turning junkie, haha. I was asked to join you and introduce myself and talk a little bit about my book, and so I'm the author of The Early Bird Cafe, which is a romance that is out now. Go check it out on your favorite retailer. It's everywhere. I actually just um, found it on powellsbooks.com today, which is a great retailer out of Oregon. So it seems to be cropping up anywhere from China and Japan to Oregon, from one end to the other. But to tell you a little bit about my book, it is a contemporary romance set in the modern day, and it tells the story of two best friends who have known each other since high school, Jim and Eve. And Jim is and this is my cat Daisy, and he's here to provide comic relief while I'm trying very hard to be professional. Um, the story of Jim and Eve starts out actually 15 years down the road into their friendship. You know, they met in high school and have gone through just about everything together. And he is now a published writer who is looking for a really great idea for his second novel. And Eve is a career woman who's out in the business world every day. And they have been hiding a love for each other because they don't want to take that next step for the fear of losing the friendship. And finally, one day it occurs to Jim that he is going to use his journals to compile the story of their friendship as his own way of finally telling her that he loves her. And the standing rule between them is that she never asks to see anything that he reads before he's done, and he doesn't show her anything until it's finished, and she doesn't pry. And so when he tells her that he has a great idea, he doesn't tell her what it's about. Throughout the course of him working on this, though, he starts a physical relationship. We all know how men are. And so Kate comes into the picture, and he starts a physical relationship with her, which then starts changing everything. Eve doesn't know what's going on. Has she waited too long to let him know the feelings that she's been hiding deep inside? You know, she just wants her best friend to be happy. And if that means that she's not the one to make him happy, then so be it. So the story takes you on the journey through a couple things that happen in Jim's life that really bring him to a crossroads, and he has a big decision to make whether he is going to finish the novel the way that he thought it was going to end, or is his life going to take a much more dramatic turn. So that is a little bit about my book. Some of the characters that you'll find are, of course, Jim and Eve, and then Kate, the other woman. And we've got Jacob, who is Jim's publisher, and such. I would, as the author, I would probably be expected to say that Jim is my favorite character simply because he is just so hot. But I really, he's a jerk. He really is a jerk sometimes. And it never failed as I was taking the twists and turns with these characters, and as they were leading me on the story, I couldn't help but hate them sometimes. So I do find myself leaning more towards Eve and her patience and dedication as a friend. You know, I really feel that she is someone that I would love to have as a friend, for her to be that loyal and respectful of my space and privacy, yet always there when I need her, even if I happen to be on her front door in the middle of the night falling down drunk, you know. And I really think that your readers will identify with Eve, because I think at some point someone in some way just has this deeper, vulnerable emotion inside for their friend in some way. They're hesitant on how are they going to react. Are they going to feel the same way? Am I going to be rejected? Is this going to change everything if I finally tell them how I really feel? So I think everyone can identify with Eve. And for other writers out there, the journey that Jim goes on as he's working to get this novel written and get under his deadlines and make it to come out the very best that it can be. I think other writers will be able to identify with that. Maybe not with the maybe not with the drinking part, but um, I have a feeling that in spite of his vices, that your readers really will take a shine to Jim. If you get the chance to check out my book trailer that I had done by Amazeballs Book Services, Tabitha Stokes, fantastic. She used a dream cast of Emily Rudd and Mario Blanco, who is my unabashed book boyfriend forever. But that will give you a chance. When you check out the link, you'll get a chance to see how I kind of envisioned Jim to be. So if he weren't such a jerk, he would be perfect. But a little bit about my typical writing day. As you can see, it's all quiet behind me except for the cats because it's nap time. And my typical day will start at about 5:45 when the alarm goes off. And I have a half hour there in the beginning before I get going that I sit down and check everything, and just in case I might have awoken from some really great inspirational dream or something. And then I have a 45-minute commute across the county to get to work. I have a day job. I am a secretary and a gopher that I truly love. I'm a social media coordinator and tax clerk. I'm everything over there, but I always make sure to have pen and paper and my journal with me. My journal goes in my bag with me in the car everywhere I go every day. I'm a pencil and paper journaler, and even if I'm not putting something down that is directly related to what I'm writing about, I really feel that by documenting what's going on in my day, that the little things that I put down that might not seem important at the time, as I read back, might fit in somewhere. I might need that later. Plus, it's just simply fantastic for keeping track of what's going on in my mind because I'm all over the place. But any time that anything inspirational or story related might strike, throughout my day job, have pencil and paper. And I'm home for lunchtime because my 18-month-old is the boss, as we call him, and so then I'm here with him for the rest of the day. So my nap time block right now, while I'm here with you, this is a great writing time. It's quiet, and I get to decompress and digest from lunch and have some time before dinner. And then after the boss lays back down, then I have 9 to midnight as my other block to do some more major writing, blog posting, interviews, social media, update everything, emailing. It's crazy. So yeah, my writing day is like 6 to midnight. But I try not to block myself in, like, I have to sit down for 2 hours every morning. It puts a lot of pressure on me. And so I really do enjoy being a little bit more flexible and spontaneous with that. If you might find me writing in the car or here or at the kitchen table as soon as we're finishing dinner. I never really know. I try. This is Gracie, and she's also here for some comic relief because they're really excited that it's nap time. So forgive me for that distraction. They're doing a photo bomb in the background. Um, my favorite book, which I just recently finished rereading, is Zane Grey. It is not a romance. It is a Western, Wanderer of the Wasteland. And this is about, well, from the 20s, so this is 80, 90 years old. Fantastic book. My Gramps read Zane Grey. This is the next one that I'm working on, 30,000 on the Hoof. So fabulous of a title, I know, but it's just as worn. But what I really enjoy about these, and when I say Western, I don't mean swaggering, gun-toting, howdy ma'am, 10-gallon hat kind of shoot-'em-up Westerns. I'm not talking about that. They're set in the West, but they're just normal drama. What I really get pulled into when I read Zane Grey is the description that he uses. And he traveled out west, you know, around the turn of the century and into the 20s and stuff, all while he was writing, so that he could really be there, which, if it were possible, would be fantastic for all of us, I know. But his it can paint a picture of where you're at without him sitting down and exactly explaining how long his nose is and how long his hair is, and you know, it's not overdone to the point where you're just like, okay, I get it, it's a guy and he's got brown hair, let's continue on. You know, he keeps the story going, all while making you feel that you're really in the desert with this guy. And Wanderer of the Wasteland tells a story of two brothers who go through a tragedy, and one believes that he has killed his brother in a dispute, and he flees because he knows if they catch him, they're going to hang him. And so he spends years carrying the guilt of what he did as he travels around and tries to give himself a little bit of redemption, only to find in the end that his brother is alive. Spoiler alert, it's a 90-year-old book. You're going to be spoiled anyway. But so that's the kind of stuff. I don't just strictly sit down and read Westerns. I'm all over the place. I love biographies and I love reference book. I'm a lot like Jim in the story that you'll find out when you buy the book. I have all kinds of books, and it's very hard for me to sit down and reread them over and over again. Zane Grey is one that I do reread, but I love old books. I have other ones, but they're a little bit more tattered that I won't bring out. I have one from around the time of the Civil War that came out. It's maybe about like that thick. And the binding is mostly gone, talking about Of Land and Sea is the title of the book, and it talks about this traveler's exotic excursions into deepest Africa and things like that, and he has etchings in the book about sea monsters and man-eating plants. It's fantastic, and stuff like that is so interesting to me, just to see how writing used to be, because if you think about it, where did we get our ideas? We got them from spontaneous inspiration. Granted, I hear you, peanut gallery. But a lot of the ideas I got were from the books I read. Well, where did those people get their ideas when they wrote that book? They got it from what they read. So, you know, as you go back in time, 100, 150 years really gives you an idea of how some of these ideas have continued to pop up and evolve in literature. And I find that so fascinating. I know that's boring the socks off of you, but anyway, the kind of writing plans that I have are more of Jim and Eve. I have a sequel brewing. I also am getting feedback about Kate. So there could be a novella coming, but I have a mob trilogy, also you know, just contemporary drama about the mob that has been in the works for a long time, that could be on the horizon. It all depends, but right now I do want to continue focusing on Jim and Eve's tale, you know, and I don't want to give anything away, but there is more to that story. So, Tony also wanted to ask me if I had something on my list for Christmas when something for the cats to play with other than the chair behind me. How's that? But if I could be silly, I would ask Santa for Unearthed by Johnny Cash. It's a ridiculously huge, stupidly expensive box set. I am the corniest, biggest Johnny Cash fan. And although I probably do have 75% of what's on that box set on vinyl already, there are some things that are not released anywhere else that would totally be awesome. So anybody who is a Johnny Cash fan, I'm right there with you. Feel free to check me out and hook up with me on Facebook and we'll chat. Johnny Cash. I love classic country and all of the outlaws and the highwaymen that go with it. So that would be something that would be cool to spontaneously find under the tree. But as I wrap this up, I want to let you know about the Creative Insider, which is my newsletter that is coming out. It will be coming out monthly. And as subscribers through my website, I will provide you with corny videos just like this one, talking about anything and everything. I get enough author newsletters that are really heavy, and that's great because it often gives me some information that I can't find anywhere else. But boy, when I want to sit down and sneak into my email for a couple minutes and take a break, I really want something, you know, fun. And so that's what I hope to bring. Check out my website, carrieaulenbacher.com, for more. If you hit me up on Twitter, I'm at Ollie, the number one, AULLY 1. And there are all kinds of bit links and things that you can click through, and any Twitter subscribers will get mentioned every month, so be sure to check that out. But I want to thank Tony. I want to thank everybody at the website here for sitting down and chit-chatting with me today. Sorry to run off at the mouth. Thanks for tolerating my cat's antics. I am Carrie Aulenbacher. The book is called The Early Bird Cafe. It is on sale now. Amazon, Google Play, Apple iBooks, Barnes & Noble, like I said, palsbooks.com. I'm at a ridiculous amount of places. So check me out. I would love Amazon reviews, and I would love to hook up with you. So come find my Facebook page at Carrie Aulenbacher or go to my website, and I will talk to all of you guys soon. Thanks so much.